Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video here at I'm Airsoft. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about why I personally started treating my airsoft gun as though it was a real firearm, and why I think you should consider doing the same thing too. So in order to understand why I started treating my airsoft gun as a real steel firearm, you would need to understand my motivation for playing airsoft in the first place. The reason I got into airsoft in my mind was because I wanted to develop some sort of self-defense superiority. I didn't know what I would learn getting into airsoft, but all I knew is that I wanted some kind of exposure to teamwork, tactics, strategizing, weapons handling and manipulation, communication, concealment, cover, and warfare in general, or something along those lines. So guys, when I'm playing airsoft, what am I personally trying to learn? What am I trying to get out of airsoft? What skills am I trying to gain? Well, first and foremost, my priority in airsoft is to have as much fun as possible. Airsoft is so much fun. It's unpredictable. Two games are never the same. It always leaves you wanting more, and it's just never boring. And so I just love playing airsoft. On the other hand, the world is crazy at the moment. Now, I'm not trying to come across as some kind of doomsday prepper or anything, but I just wanted to take it upon myself to try and get as much skills as possible now. And airsoft was my method of doing that. And when I play an airsoft game, why I take it so seriously, I treat it as if it was a real life war situation. When I get hit with a BB, I count that as though it could have been potentially a real shot in real life. So when I play, I try not die as seriously in an airsoft game as I would like to not die or get shot in a real life war situation. And so my mindset when playing airsoft is as serious as I could possibly be under the given circumstances as I think I would in real life. Now, I'm sure you've seen the video of Liku, who was flown in by Lucas Botkin from T-Rex Arms from Japan. And we've all seen the video, does airsoft translate to real firearm skill? And we all saw how easily Liku was able to transition from airsoft to real firearms manipulation. And so I believe if you have the right mindset in airsoft, if your goal is to get as much skill as possible out of airsoft, if you are taking it as dead serious as possible, I believe you could be learning skills that could make you proficient in self-defense if shit really did hit the fan. So a little bit more background about airsoft in Taiwan. We sometimes play in abandoned villages, abandoned factories, and forests. Now, our captains do make sure it's legal to play there, and they check out that it's safe. So the wonderful thing about playing in these areas is it's not like a cordoned off field with a ref, and that feels like a paintball game. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's wonderful to go to a real village that used to be a place where people lived. It was abandoned, and so you've got this little area that simulates a real life situation because it was used by real people, and two teams, stationed on opposite ends of the village, and we fight. Playing in these different environments has taught me different forms of concealment, to take different forms of cover, different strategies and planning with the team, different forms of communication, different roles in the team. And so yeah, that adds to one of the reasons why I take airsoft so seriously, is because it feels very real in Taiwan in terms of environment. The next point I would like to touch on why I think you should start treating your airsoft replica as though it's a real firearm is to avoid developing bad habits. Now, if you have bad habits with your replica, you have poor muzzle control, you point it in all sorts of directions, you don't consider what you're shooting at before you shoot at it, you don't have good target acquisition, and you're just plain irresponsible with your airsoft gun. What if you have a negligent discharge with your airsoft gun? How am I going to trust you if I put a real gun in your hands? Now, of course, the consequences are totally different getting shot with an airsoft gun from a meter away than getting shot with a real gun from a meter away. But if you cannot be responsible with your airsoft gun, how can you trust yourself to have the necessary skills to manipulate a real firearm? So how do you practice airsoft gun safety? Well, the same way you would practice real gun safety. The other day I saw a wonderful post from Tim Kennedy on Instagram, and he mentioned 5 points on how to practice good gun safety. Number 1, always keep your gun pointed in a safe direction. Number 2, always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Number 3, know your target and what's behind your target. Number 4, know the condition of your weapon. Number 5, treat all weapons as if they are loaded. So what skills do I feel like I've gained from playing airsoft so far? Weapons handling and manipulation is one of them. Knowing how to hold a gun correctly, knowing how to clear a fault, knowing how to just load and do magazine changes quickly, knowing how to find the dot on a red dot, aiming, how to use a sling, how to put my gun in a comfortable position when running, how to hold the gun, quick target acquisition, just real like gun manipulation skills is something I feel like I've learned how to do. Another thing I feel like I've learned how to do is different kinds of concealment and different kinds of cover in different environments. Playing airsoft in a bright green forest is 100% different to playing airsoft in a CQB environment. Those situations and the other ones require completely different skill sets in terms of concealment and cover. Some require dead silence and patience. Some require massive amounts of teamwork and ambush and rushing and firepower and suppression. They different worlds, and there's definitely skills that lie within different environments. Another skill that I feel like I've learned is how to set up a loadout ergonomically and comfortably just for me. Where I favor having my guns, how many magazines I have, where to keep my knife, where to put a radio, setting up a loadout in a way that I can function well. I also feel like I've learned how to communicate with a team. Sometimes my captain puts me like in a marksmanship or a sniper position. I'm not a sniper, but getting on the scope and checking an environment out and sitting on the radio and talking to the team that is going up front and letting them know where I see people, where there was movement. And it helps. It really does help to learn to communicate and work with the team. Sometimes I have a clear shot on someone, but I won't take the shot because I don't want to give away my position. And so I will let somebody else know who has the ability to fire and move. And killing an enemy player like that, you know, saves me from getting shot by giving my position away with a gas blowback rifle while the other person is able to do their job and move. Those are the tricks I'm talking about in airsoft and the skills that you gain. I feel like I've learned how to plan and how to strategize in a game. Of course, it's nothing like real life military warfare. It's airsoft related, but it's still strategizing with a team. And those are skills I didn't have before I played airsoft, and they are skills I feel like I have now. Alright guys, so I want to speak about something I think is really important, and that is what airsoft can never teach me. So with the mindset of, I want to try and be as effective as a real soldier. I want to try and emulate and get as close to as possible a real soldier in order to become the most effective at my own personal self-defense as possible. With that mindset, trying to be as close to a real soldier as possible, what can Airsoft never teach me? Well, you're never gonna learn recoil management with an Airsoft gun, number one. Number two, you don't have the formal training and the background that a real soldier has, of course. So we have to rely on YouTube, books, teammates, and experience to try and teach ourselves to become as effective in self-defense through Airsoft as possible. But the biggest thing that I want to talk about with Airsoft is not with real bullets, bombs, and knives. So Airsoft is never gonna serve as a litmus test to see if you have the balls to stand up straight during a real firefight or a real war. So what I think, and I'm not accusing anyone of anything, I just think we should be as humble as possible as Airsofters, because Airsoft is never going to be the litmus test of real war, of course. So that being said, try to emulate soldiers to get the skills for self-defense as much as possible, but just know that soldiers are a different breed entirely. And so the elephant in the room is, do I believe as an Airsoft player who does take it as seriously as possible, I am more effective at personal self-defense than a person who has never played Airsoft? The answer to that question is yes. And let me back it up. Why I say yes is because whenever a new person joins our Airsoft team, they die. Left, right, and center. They get killed on the Airsoft field so frequently. It takes them usually 2 or 3 months to find their feet, to find their role in the team, to get an idea of what to do and how to operate when that game starts. And they develop the skills I've mentioned in this video to become effective Airsoft players. And if shit did hit the fan in the world and I had to put my VFC HK 416 on the ground and pick up a real 416, I wouldn't be lost at all. I wouldn't be lost in the slightest. I would know exactly how to handle that gun, how it fits on my sling, how my loadout works, how to do speed reloads, how to work with a team, how to take cover, how to conceal. And I believe Airsoft can give you skills, but it depends on your mindset. It depends how seriously you take it and what you're trying to get from Airsoft. Anyways, thanks for watching my video, guys. Let me know what you think. I may have overlooked something. I may have a funny perspective on something. I love hearing back from you. Please let me know what you think. I'm looking so forward to hearing your opinion on this slightly controversial topic. Other than that, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to I Am Airsoft for more content like this, and take good care of yourself. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.